For years, a Rockford-based advocacy group, Hope Over Addiction, has been a source of support for families dealing with opioid addiction and those who've lost a loved one to the epidemic. Now that group's expanding. Brittany Toulis is here to explain what's inspired a local pastor to grow the program. Brittany?
Eric, Hope Over Addiction began meeting in a second location 2 weeks ago in Rockton. This comes after a member of Pastor Dan's congregation approached him about expanding the group after a family member died from a drug overdose.
My grandmother goes to the Old Stone Church, and she had told him a little bit about what was going on. So when Brian passed, he had sent Mom a letter in the mail.
In February, a nightmare became a reality when Erin Hahn and her mother Sandy received a call that Erin's brother Brian had passed away as a result of a heroin overdose.
Didn't expect it this time because he was to start a new job on Monday. He passed on Thursday, and he was starting this new job on Monday when had an apartment set up to get, and we thought his life was going to, ready to go forward.
Sandy's son Brian had struggled with addiction for a decade before passing away as a result. Heartbroken, Sandy and Erin attended their first Hope Over Addiction meeting in Rockford. They are now a driving force with Pastor Dan at Rockton's Old Stone Church behind spreading the word about its expansion to Rockton.
Everybody essentially knows someone who may have a loved one who's using or some connection. And so it just was important to have one here locally where people could come.
The group aims to take a different approach to better understand how to help families of addicts cope with the drug-related loss of a loved one.
A loved one dying from heroin, for instance, it's just a whole different set of emotional circumstances. And the grief group people in most grief groups don't quite know how to handle that.
Families living with a loved one that's an addict are battling alongside them, from recoveries to relapses and everything in between. And Hope Over Addiction wants to be a lifeline for them as well.
It's a way for us to talk to other people that have been through the same thing that we're going through and help us feel that we're not alone. And
Hope for Addiction meets in Rockford at 4615 East State Street, Suite 15 in the PNC Bank Building, the first and third Monday of every month, and in Rockton at the Old Stone Church every second and fourth Monday of the month. Eric?
Brittany, thank you.